The huntress wizard has finally reached the heart of the forest, but she has to hurry. Her vital organs are beginning to fail, and she could die at any moment.
Really feeling like myself today.
The episode begins with Fionna. She has no idea where she is, but as she looks around, she notices personal objects from both her past and her present. None of it makes sense, until the huntress wizard appears, and everything starts to fall into place. It is the huntress wizard who has entered Fionna's mind, searching for something that might connect her to the green magic of her own world. The huntress wizard carries a dark corner within her mind, a place where that magic flows freely, and because of that, she assumes Fionna must have something similar hidden somewhere deep inside her as well. Whatever she's searching for could take any form. When Fionna touches the huntress wizard's head, everything changes. In that instant, it's Fionna who crosses into her mind. There, she witnesses the most painful memory of the wizard's childhood, her home engulfed in flames and her parents dying in the fire. Fionna fully steps into that memory and sees a young huntress wizard pounding endlessly on a door, crying because she can't go back home and because she wasn't able to save Finn. Fionna sits beside that moment as brief flashes of the wizard's parents pass by until the door begins to glow with green sparks of light. When it finally opens, a deer appears, the being that represents the heart of the forest. What the huntress wizard had been searching for was never inside Fionna at all. It had always been within herself. Faced with this realization, all she can do is bow in respect and reverence before returning to her adult form. The heart of the forest wipes away her tears and opens, allowing her to return to her own world, marking in a way a farewell to Fionna's world. The huntress wizard crosses the threshold, and Fionna, who has no real reason to do so, follows her. This causes a portal to open in the real world, right before Cake's stunned eyes, as she watches in horror at everything unfolding. The huntress wizard finally arrives at the heart of the forest, a place where all she needs to do is find her world in order to go home. But Fionna has followed her, and that partially ruins her plan. Fionna falls into the depths, and the huntress wizard is unable to keep her afloat. To follow her down, the huntress wizard grabs one of the floating orbs and lets herself fall after her. But she can't reach her in time. Cake also makes it to the heart of the forest in search of Fionna, and uses one of the red orbs to descend into the deepest part of the place. Fionna ends up landing on a carnivorous plant and would have died from the acidic substance it secretes if not for one of the local inhabitants. They manage to save her, though in the process, Fionna loses part of her clothing. Guided purely by instinct, the huntress wizard presses on. The heart of the forest speaks to her, pointing her toward where her home lies. Along the way, she encounters a creature named Russell, whose home was poisoned, leaving him lost and wandering. After learning his story, the huntress wizard heals him and offers to help him find his way back home. Meanwhile, Cake falls straight into the droppings of a magical worm. This creature welcomes her to the wilds, the name of the place she's landed in, and introduces himself as the karmic worm. The red orbs they use to descend are called pain balls, and the worm's job is to consume them. Whenever someone anywhere in the multiverse represses an idea, the worms process it, turning it into fruit that grows on the trees at the heart of the forest. When those fruits fully ripen, they float back toward their place of origin, though they can transform back into pain balls once again. Cake is stunned by the explanation, but she also tells the worm that she's looking for Fionna. Since he hasn't seen her, he offers to help, explaining that he knows this place inside and out. Meanwhile, Fionna walks alongside the man who saved her. He explains that he's a kind of double of Finn. He died in Oo, but his consciousness woke up in this place. For a long time, he tried to be Finn. He wanted what Finn had, his things, his life, but now he understands that he's become something else entirely. This version of Finn leads Fionna to a garden, where a tree stands covered in red orbs. Each one contains unprocessed emotions belonging to Finn. There's even one where Finn asks the huntress wizard to live together, a painfully awkward and embarrassing moment because of how it happened. The Finn double confesses to Fionna that he himself is a sad mixture of those fruits. The orbs don't float because he isn't ready to face those emotions. That tree is essentially made up of feelings from across the multiverse that were never processed. At the same time, the huntress wizard arrives at Russell's home and discovers it has been completely poisoned. As she investigates and follows the source of that corruption, she comes face to face with the sorceress witch. Hungry for power, she reveals that she has been following the huntress wizard all along. For years, she cared for and milked that entity to extract its magic, but now that she has reached the heart of the forest, all of that magic belongs to her. The huntress wizard knows she can't afford to fail. She has to reach Oo to save Finn, Without hesitating for a second, she launches herself into battle against the sorceress witch. Meanwhile, Fionna begins touching other orbs to see what they contain. One belongs to Gary. It shows him cooking meals so his parents can eat as much as they want, while he chooses to go outside and grab a hot dog instead. Another orb belongs to Ellis, revealing the dream we saw in the previous episode, the one he dreamed but refused to listen to, when he sits told he has to go beyond the peach. Fionna even catches a glimpse of one belonging to Marshall.
I ask for peace and quiet for one day, and you with it. And now you're trying to make me feel guilty, pulling that sad face.
Sorry, Mom.
You make things so difficult.
Marshall.
Then Fionna touches an orb belonging to Hunter, where he's clearly upset with her for not showing up to the meeting he organized for his park event. But his anger runs deeper than that. Frank was already against him, and now he won't be able to get him off his back. He wishes Fionna were more responsible. There's even an orb of Fionna herself, where she's judged for her love of cats. She also sees one belonging to Simon, which causes her to fall from the tree. Everything Fionna has seen only reinforces one painful idea. She feels like all she ever does is hurt the people around her. Meanwhile, the huntress wizard confronts the sorceress. The witch grows more and more powerful as she steals the magic surrounding her, magic that doesn't belong to her, and that slowly begins to consume her from within. She fires several arrows, and one of them strikes the huntress wizard directly. For a moment, everything seems lost. The huntress wizard loses her limbs, but in an almost impossible act, she manages to restore them. Neither she nor the witch can understand how she was able to reconstruct herself. Even so, the sorceress continues to burn herself out in her desperation to absorb more power. Taking advantage of this, the huntress wizard connects with the trees around her, allowing them to help restrain the witch and, in the end, knock her out with a single decisive blow. With Cake, the worm admits that he misses being around other deities. He believes Cake is one of them, but nothing could be further from the truth. Cake doesn't feel that way. She feels strange, incomplete. Being able to take on any form only makes her feel like she's trying to be something she isn't. The worm urges her not to feel ashamed. He explains that ideas come into existence to be transformed, not just because they change, but because those changes reveal what stays the same, the truth. He even tells her that he feels lucky to have Cake come into his life. As they continue on their way, they find a clue, a piece of Fiona's clothing. The moment he sees it, the worm knows exactly where she might be. Fionna and Fern arrive at a place where there's a pizza box, and inside, the worm and Cake are already waiting for them. He offers them tea and admits that he'd like to spend more time there, even though he lives in the wilds most of the time. It turns out that he and his brother were punished. He was banished to this place, but his brother's punishment was far worse, so severe that he hasn't even been able to consume his orbs of remorse. That's when the shocking truth is revealed. His brother is the cosmic owl, just as we saw in episode 7. With pain and regret, Fionna and Cake have no choice but to tell the worm that his brother is dead. The worm can't believe it, and that disbelief prevents him from processing those orbs of remorse, because now they have nowhere to go. In the end, they're all he has left of him. Then the worm does something that seemed impossible. He shatters the orb in which his brother was trapped in suffering, and from within it, the cosmic owl emerges. The moment he sees him, the owl knows instantly that he's standing before his brother. He apologizes for having exposed him in the past, but the worm had forgiven him long ago, after witnessing all the suffering he had carried on his own. With this reunion between brothers, the cosmic owl must continue on his path. He opens a portal to head toward the place where the trial against him is taking place, or rather against Finn, whom Fionna had accused of killing the cosmic owl. The owl emerges from the lifeless body that had been lying at the trial, and Orbo can't believe he's still alive. This time, with a different appearance, the cosmic owl fully clears Finn of any responsibility. Orbo is relieved to see him back in his role, but the owl makes it clear that he's resigning and leaves without offering any further explanation. Meanwhile, the worm feels at peace. Knowing that the guilt his brother carried for so long has finally been lifted fills him with pride and love for him. At that moment, the huntress wizard arrives carrying the defeated body of the sorceress witch. With the worm's help, everyone prepares to leave, allowing Fionna and Cake to finally return home. After speaking with the worm, Cake decides to stay behind. Even so, she promises Fionna that it will only be for a while, and that if she ever needs her, she'll always be there to support her. Without hesitation, Fionna steps through the portal that returns her to her world. The huntress wizard has lost the cure for Finn, but she's determined to find another way to save him. To do that, she first needs to return to Owo. She takes the witch with her, despite the sorceress's resistance. Back in O, Finn's condition has reached its most critical point. His organs have been severely weakened, and he could die at any moment. With time running out, the Candy Princess decides to call her mother. The Huntress Wizard reaches the portal that should take her back to her world, but something goes wrong. When she touches the branch, it completely disintegrates, bringing the episode to a close.